Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Torrential Tom. I am your host, Torrential Tom. As was the big story the other night, we had a strong Category 4 Hurricane Eta approaching Central America and eventually made landfall on Central America. Currently, at this moment, we have Tropical Depression Eta as the storm has been overland for a couple days now, weakened, and now we're going to look at its forecast path as we move ahead in time. Currently, as of 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Tropical Depression Eta's winds are at 35 miles per hour. Pressure is up to 1,004 millibars, moving at north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. We move ahead to Eta's visible satellite, and you can see there's a little flare-up of clouds as the sun goes away and night approaches. I'm going to move my mouse over it. There's a patch of clouds here that blow up a bit as the sun goes down. That is where Eta's current center is, just a little offshore of Central America. As I mentioned, moving at north-northwest, so we may have another landfall temporarily in Central America, but generally over the next day we will see Eta moving away from land. Now we go to the infrared, and we could see again that little blow up of clouds at its center. Darker clouds, higher cloud tops, cooler cloud tops. So that's where the strongest of winds are occurring at the moment. Something important to note, Central America is getting crushed with feet of rain and a ton of landslides, and there have been many deaths reported so far. To note, with Eta's circulation on its north and eastern side, we have a counterclockwise flow. So, we have moisture being influenced on its eastern side from the Atlantic Ocean into Central America, and then on its western and southern side, we have influence of moisture from the Pacific Ocean, as the winds are bringing moisture onshore to Central America. So this rain will persist as Eta continues to move very slowly away from Central America, which is bad news for those folks. We will look at Eta's current position through the global forecast models. We will look at the American model specifically tonight. The European model is very similar, except for a little bit of a timing differential. So tonight, concentrating on the GFS, which is the American model. As you can see right now, Eta's current position, slightly offshore of Central America. We move forward in time to tomorrow around the same hour. And you can see, as I mentioned, Eta has now pulled away from Central America, but still providing showers to the land, which is not good. They need a break, and they will not get it for the next 24 hours. So Eta moves away, approaching Cuba, and then we move into Saturday evening. Eta will either be very close to Cuba or making landfall on Cuba. There is a high pressure close to Bermuda, very strong high pressure, which will be giving our area, which I will talk about a little further on in the video, our area a very, very beautiful weekend. But the high pressure and Eta creates a tight gradient around the Florida area. So Florida will be getting onshore flow. Currently, at this moment, they are actually being influenced with onshore flow from Eta and the high pressure system, which is giving some heavy showers throughout the state. But that will persist tomorrow into Saturday, even before Eta makes landfall on Cuba's land. Now we move into Sunday evening, and Eta has moved across Cuba, and you can see Eta has made a turn north and a little bit to the west. So what's happening here is Eta is being influenced by the high pressure to its north and to its east. This high pressure is not letting Eta move further east. It is not letting Eta move out to shore, which is bad news for the Gulf Coast as well as Florida, the southern Florida coast, the Keys of Florida, even potentially Miami and parts of the eastern side of Florida. As I mentioned, the tight gradient from tonight all the way through to Saturday, Sunday will create an onshore flow in Florida. You're going to have high waves, heavy winds, rain showers, and it will not be the best of weather. But as we move into Sunday, the weather will go downhill even further as we can have a strong tropical storm moving towards the coast. As I mentioned, this high pressure is not letting Eta escape offshore into the Atlantic Ocean away from land. It is forcing Eta to make a western turn into the Gulf of Mexico, which is not good. Any storm that goes into the Gulf of Mexico is trapped by land, has to make landfall no matter what. We move it the next day into Monday, and here you can see that high pressure a little more pronounced. Again, not allowing Eta to move offshore. If anything, moving it further westward into the Gulf of Mexico. The warm waters, very low wind shear, and Eta is expected to strengthen into a strong tropical storm, potentially into a Category 1, potentially a 2 hurricane. So again, Eta not expected at this moment in time to move very quickly as of Monday because of the high pressure forcing this storm to stay in the Gulf of Mexico, and there's no trough as of Monday that's going to come in, grab Eta, and influence it to the north. We move ahead to our local weather, our local forecast. Today we had a high of 55 degrees. Excuse me, the current temperature in our area is 55 degrees. My apologies. Right now we have a calm wind, pressure of 1027 millibars. As I mentioned, that is a strong high pressure system in our area, and that will be on top of us, influencing our weather for the entire weekend. Tomorrow, Friday, mostly sunny skies, some clouds, high of 68, low of 48. And then Saturday, as we start our weekend, a high of 73 degrees, a low of 47 degrees, mostly sunny skies. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. I will be giving further updates on Tropical Depression Eta. Have a good night, and I will talk to you all soon.